Pocono Mountains, Delaware State Forest, and we're at our family's cabin just waiting for people to arrive for the weekend, and we're going to use this weekend to really explore the Delaware State Forest and some of our more local spots. First arrival of the weekend. Told some girl in Lancaster when she saw our car packed that we were heading to the Poconos, and she said, "Oh, I never heard of that. Is that in Pennsylvania?"
She goes, "Where is that?" And I was I was kind of stunned by the question, and I was like, in Pennsylvania. I said, in the woods.
How do you live in Pennsylvania and not know where the Poconos are?
It's a hidden gem that I think gets visited more frequently by people from out of state than people in state in terms of vacationing here.
We're gonna go check out the dark sky spot, check it out a little bit. You ready to go to the dark sky spot? Alright, so we're going to head to the Delaware State Forest dark sky spot to check it out during the daytime, just to get an idea of where we're going. And this was only designated in, when did you say, Thad?
I think 2014.
Alright, pretty new place, new designation in the State Forest. Let's go check it out. Trailhead here, and there isn't much parking. I mean, it's literally just a little pull off on the side of the road, and this is called Dancing Ridge Trail. And we're gonna park here and take this little walk back to the dark sky spot. What we have here is Dancing Ridge Trail, and it's basically a stone road so far, and this isn't supposed to be a very far hike back here to the spot that we're going to, so this is something that you don't need to put on your hiking shoes or take, you know, a backpack full of stuff. You can just pull off the side of the road, hike back, and explore a little bit, and you're not far from your car. We saw the Dancing Ridge Trail sign, but from the road you wouldn't know that this spot is back here. Do the quarter-mile walk, then there's a sign. We hiked about a quarter mile off the road, and then there's a sign that shows you this is the Dancing Ridge Dark Sky site.
If this was Dancing Ridge out this way, if you got here in late fall, winter, or early spring, I'm guessing you would have a view. You know, the ridge is not elevated too much, and so, I mean, with all the overgrowth, you can't necessarily see the ridge.
A big wide open field on top of a ridge with really expansive views that kind of go and go. If you go past this field, down here in the end, the trail, Dancing Ridge Trail, actually continues.
Yeah, I followed that a little bit when I came out here. One time it was me and Pocono. It does start to go downhill out through there, so I do believe a tributary of Bushkill Creek is in that direction.
It's kind of a beautiful overcast day here, a little chilly, a little breezy, and I'm loving this wide open space out here. in the Delaware State Forest. Anna's here!
Hi!
We got Nick Mo.
What it do, what up, homies? Now, and it's back again.
Where have you been traveling?
Here, there, everywhere. Never leave home without the rum, though.
Yay!
We had plans to revisit the dark sky spot later that night, but unfortunately it wasn't the right weekend for stargazing at Dancing Ridge, as it clouded over and remained overcast each night of this particular Pocono excursion. Getting back there on a clear night to see the stars is still high up on our to-do list.
I'm just trying to compare this area that looks like it could be Delaware State Forest, but there's also a private organization that owns property in the same general area. And so it's just, the difficulty is trying to figure out exactly where they are located and what the difference is. All we can do is drive out that way and see what we can find and see where everything exactly is once we're out there. The Poconos does not seem like an area where there would be a lot of remote land and forest, but there really is. There's a lot of back roads, little tiny roads in the Pocono region. You can easily get lost out there once you get off of a main road that's paved. And so over the years, losing our swimming spots that we like to enjoy here during the summer as a recreational activity, we lost two now where there were waterfalls located. Trying to find a third one is really difficult because the state forest here is really subdivided into small segments that loosely piece together. And so I'm looking at the state forest map and I'm seeing state forest, or what should be state forest, jut out to a section of Bushkill Creek. But when you look at it on a map and this other park association that owns private property comes up, you can't tell if what I'm looking at is Delaware State Forest or if it's just property they own. So that's where we're at. I can map out the directions, and that's about the best we can do, is drive out that way, see what we find.
So we'll park and hike somewhere into the state forest and hope that we find hopefully a waterfall with a swimming hole.
If what I'm looking at is state forest, we're going to have a very specific area that we can probably pull off and hike in towards Bushkill Creek.
Somewhere on the edge of the state forest in hopes of finding a hidden treasure in the woods, some sort of piece of water that's accessible that we can swim in.
Fine state forest that we are legally allowed to be on and can hike into a little bit. So we are here in the Delaware State Forest. If you take a look here to the road, and if you were to follow this down, you could cut into the woods near the bridge. That would place you close to Snow Hill Falls. That's on private property. We are taking this path because it's public state forest, public property, to Thad's Falls. So, and there's a natural water slide there that would take us about 14 minutes and 35 seconds to walk to. Come along on a dangerous journey with us in the Delaware State Forest. Horseflies everywhere.
Brandon's with us.
What up?
A photography specialist from Ricketts Glen.
Taking a day off today. Just going on a walk without a backpack of any sort. It's a rarity.
We got a nice little, about a mile hike back into the woods here. Maybe a little less each way to see a nice little piece of water on the Bushkill Creek.
Oh, okay, it's part of Bushkill. How far is Bushkill Falls from here?
I didn't know it at the time since this was a new hike to me, but it turns out we were roughly 20 miles upstream from Bushkill Falls. What do we have here?
There's a pole archway here. It looks like it came down in the storm.
So we're supposed to cross this creek.
Yep.
There's only two things going across the creek here, and that looks incredibly slippery right there. I wouldn't want to cross the creek right there, and then we have a little spot going across here. Neither of one is very much like a bridge, so yeah, we're gonna try the rocks. What'd you do? Just go up here. Doesn't look too bad right here. Ugh. And we gotta cross another little piece of it. Highly recommend wearing your hiking boots here in the Delaware State Forest. Keep your feet dry.
Imagine this is very similar to like what that Thunder Swamp trail system probably looks like. Have you guys read about that at all? Anna? Yeah, it's like a map. That's like a backpacking trail around here.
Yeah.
We hiked a little piece of it once.
Oh, did you? Okay.
Yeah.
I love like nursery stumps.
A little bit of a workout here on the way in. Guess we'll walk out, it'll be a breeze. There's another trail and another place to park to actually do this hike.
Yeah, the William Penn Boy Scout.
That'll take you right down there. But we're not heading to the pond, we're heading to the creek. It does appear that we're working with red blazes on this trail.
Probably the next biggest one I've seen in this area. Looks like that one right over there is pretty good too. And so the other side of this, as soon as you step
This
over,
guy here, he's not too bad. Too shabby himself.
Yeah.
Some nice trees here.
So if you step over about 10 feet, you're on private property.
10 feet that way?
Yep. Right over here. So here we kind of got a merge in the path. So we were still going this direction, this way in the path. If you go downhill into this low-lying ground where it's going to become a little swampy and there's a little stream and stuff down there, if you go downhill in this area, then you're definitely trespassing onto private property. Over this way, you can go straight ahead. There's an old trail, and then there is another old trail that's a secondary trail, and they create a third trail, and they all merge into one. So whichever one you hit, even if you end up bushwhacking for a minute, you're going to come onto the correct trail and head down to the creek.
And there is a red blaze up here on this tree. If you're going with that method of trying to follow these red blazes on this trail, you're going to know to take this direction once you get to this split here. Just love that feeling when you've been hiking for a while and then suddenly you can hear the waterfall or you can hear the water rushing. Motivates you to get through that portion of the hike pretty easily. One of the things about the Poconos is the private property. So we're actually coming up to a white blaze on the trail now. You can see water. Look at that. Talk about a slice of paradise in the Delaware State Forest. And what we have here is a natural water slide. A little bit of a waterfall leading into a nice big pool down here. It's absolutely beautiful.
That's the world right there.
How's that moss feel?
Oh, so good. Such connectivity to the earth.
This is it, a little oasis on the Delaware State Forest, Bushkill Creek portion. Yeah, baby!
How was that?
If you knew that if you just got like a straight
Right,
shot,
yeah. There's a view in there you gotta watch out for.
Yeah. There's that one section, it's like right there, and I like shot the real cool. Whoa, yeah!
Push right here. Ah! Oh. Breach on the rock. Oh. Woo. Oh, there we go.
We're leaving our little Bushkill Creek waterfall, natural water slide location, and we're heading back to our cabin, back through the deep woods of the Delaware State Forest. Can't stop this guy from taking a photo.
It is a little disorienting in here until you get used to this trail going in and out of it.
Good hike, guys.
Yeah, man.
Great
Very
hike.
cool. Definitely glad to experience that. It was a lot of fun. Felt like being a kid again.
I saw young Brandon that
My inner monkey child climbing up the rocks.
swinging off the tree.
Yeah.
We're in the Pocono Mountains. Just left my cabin. We're on our way to Pocono Raceway. Normally a place where you'd see NASCAR or other racing, but it's also a venue for things like festivals, like we're going to today. We're going to the Pocono Sky Lantern Festival. We're gonna hang out, probably have a campfire, and watch some lanterns float through the sky. You're watching PA Native. We just got in here, Pocono Sky Lantern Festival. People are pouring in right now. The instant campfire from Shark Tank. It's gonna be our campfire while we're here at the festival. We're gonna see how this thing works, how well it works. A lot of people are buying them and using them. So far, so good. Probably just takes a couple minutes to shoot up. Toasting. Some mallows. We're looking for possible engagements near us. There goes one mallow.
How much you want about people in this stuff?
I have to say that this fire, this radiate fire, actually does radiate some heat. I'm surprised. Very surprised. Happily surprised. know if it's really starting, but people are deciding to start it. These two behind us just got engaged. Can you believe that? My big head's in the way, but right there they are. Just got engaged. Oh yeah. Lanterns are going up. We're gonna wrap it up, get out of here. Everybody else is starting to make their way out. Time to last their lanterns up. Listen to that. Quite a sight to see. Yeah, signing off. Pocono Sky Lantern Festival. Kim and I didn't actually set up any sky lanterns ourselves. While we both were wanting to take in the experience and views, something about setting a fireball off into the sky and not knowing where it will land didn't sit right with us from an environmental standpoint. Because when I sit back and think about it, this really is our second home. The Pocono Mountains holds a special place in our hearts. It's where we go to find nature and peace. It's where we hang out with our best friends. Campfires, hikes, nature, good times. What can be better than that?
Thank you.